Welcome. Today's webinar is on free online movie making tools, and thank you for joining us from eClass for Learning. My name is Dr. Tammy Frame, and I am the Chief Education Officer at eClass for Learning. This is my contact information. I will also be recording today's session, so anybody that signed up will get a link with the recording. In that email, I will also have my contact information. So if you come up with questions that weren't answered or you think of later during the webinar, please feel free to send them to me. I would appreciate that, and I will get back to you. Okay, today we are doing our webinar on the GoToWebinar platform. There should be an area on your user dashboard for questions, and I do encourage those. Please feel free to put in any questions that you have during the webinar or share any information that you have. If you've attended some of our other webinars, that's one of the most exciting parts, is when people share other resources and it becomes a really exciting community of practice. And I also think that on the ground, real now questions make it much more interesting. So I really encourage those throughout the presentation. I don't wait till the end, although you can put them at the end. But please put your questions throughout the presentation, and that will make it a lot better. Now, on today's webinar, it's very interesting. We have representatives. We had quite a big sign up for this one, and we have representatives, I think, from every possible industry that I can think of. We had representatives from K-12, we had higher ed, we had healthcare, we had manufacturing, we had nonprofits, we had small businesses, we have big corporations. We have everything across the board. So I am interested in what attracted people to this one. When planning it, when I saw who was coming, what I decided on how to approach it, there are so many tools out there. I decided to go with my 3 favorite ones, and I'll go in depth a little bit more on how to get started with those that are quick and easy and that I use a lot for video creation, especially for my online content that I'm creating. And I think that the majority of people were looking, how can they make their courses more engaging, more personal, more just-in-time support through the use of video. So if you are having success with another video option that you want to put it in the chat, please do. All 3 of my options are cloud-based, and all 3 are free. And I'm into free tools. If you know me, I don't like to. I like open source, and I like things that are free on the web. Okay. eClass for Learning, before we get started, we are an e-learning solutions company, and we provide a lot of solutions for our clients and whatever they need. We work with a variety of LMS solutions. So if you're thinking about moving to an LMS, feel free to contact us and we can maybe help direct you to the best one that would be for you. We do course development. We do professional development and training, and I really see those as 2 different things. Professional development would be best practices. We do a lot of that in the K-12 and higher ed space, and training is more how to use things or how to do things technically. We can help you if you are in the business of selling online courses, or you're a startup that wants to be able to maybe do a certification program or something like that. We can help you with the marketing of that and using technology tools to do that. We host both websites and LMSs. I should have put web development too, could go up there. And we also provide e-commerce solutions. Again, if you're thinking about selling courses, we can help you out with that. So that's what we do. And let's move into the tools. That's the fun part. The first tool that I want to talk about that is really trending for me personally, that I'm using more and more, is Adobe Spark. Has anybody in the audience used Adobe Spark? If so, go ahead and put that in there and maybe what your experiences are and what you think of it. Adobe Spark has, like a lot of these, a lot of tiers, but there is a free tier, and I have found that there's quite a bit you can do with it. Very intuitive, very easy to use, includes copyright-free music. It'll create a link for you, so it's hosted in the Adobe Spark platform. You can share that link. It has buttons for Facebook, Twitter, email, or if you're like me and trying to put it into online content, you can embed it. Okay, so there's a question here. Is there a video showing now besides eClass for Learning? Right now I'm just doing a live webinar, and you should be seeing the Adobe Spark slide, and then I was going to demo Adobe Spark in a minute here. Is that what the audience is seeing? You guys seeing the Adobe Spark and hearing my voice okay? If not, please put that in the chat and we'll try and troubleshoot what the technical... Oh, okay, show screen. Thank you. All right, I didn't press the show screen. That is the issue. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. I got it recorded, but I didn't do that. Okay, so the first one, I hadn't started demoing, so I'm glad that you mentioned that. Thank you very much. So this is the Adobe Spark slide that I have, and we just got started. And like I said, you can share it, and the thing that I like about it is the embed. And so we'll go to the Adobe site here. I think I actually have it queued up here, ready to go. So let me, yeah. All right, and we'll go here. All right. So once you create a login for Adobe Spark, and one of the things that I like is if you are a Google user, it does have Google single sign-on, so that makes it even easier, so you don't have to have yet another password. Like I said, it has different tiers that you can pay for, but the free tier is all that I'm using, and I like it a lot. It does have more than video, so you can create things like a we'll show you when you hit plus, you can do sort of like a web post. You can create like a web page or a video, and I've spent most of my time on the video component. These pages are kind of cool too. They can almost be like graphic images that could be put in with cool backgrounds into online content too. But today we'll focus on the video. So you just press the plus. And it couldn't be simpler, especially if you support lots of instructors in maybe a higher institution. It's easy. So I could call my epic journey and click next. And then they have all these really cool templates that make it look super professional that you can pick from. I was just working with a group on civic engagement, and this one worked really well for that. So promote an idea, pick this one if I like that template. And it has a lot of built-in help, so it's going to give you a built-in tutorial there, which is nice for people, but we'll skip that for today. And then it has all these backgrounds. So in some ways, if you're used to PowerPoint, it can be very similar to that. So for today's thing, I'll go with Vivid. If I want to record myself, I just press the recorder. If I want to add, oh, and I like this because right along the bottom is a storyboard and setting, problem, what could be, and each template kind of has suggested ones. However, you are not limited to those. You can change them up and make them different, but if you're trying to help with a quick project, that can work really well. So when we go to plus, Now my options are I could drop in a video, and again, if you have a webcam, you can make a video of yourself. I find more and more I'm using my phone to make videos out and about. I can add text overlays, I could drop in a photo, or I can drop in an icon, and they have a lot of icons that you can use. So if I went to star, let's see, yeah, then I can just drag those over and I could star something on there. Let's see, okay, and so this is just giving me a hint. Okay, so then if I want to, I can move these around, I can add slides and so forth. Then you also have different layout settings, much like PowerPoint, so where you can put objects, so you could have, you know, text here and a photo here, for instance. If you're going to do one full thing, then that's better for video. You can preview as you're working on it. Again, this is all saved in the Adobe Spark. When you're ready to share, it'll ask you some questions, and then it'll have a create link. When it creates the link, then you can share that, and there are share buttons, but also it gives an embed code. And usually the embed code is what you need to get the whole player and the whole movie added right into your LMS. So yeah, if anybody's used Adobe Spark, that's probably one of my newest favorites. A teacher put me onto that one who had actually used it with their students pretty easily for turning in and creating videos. You know, so often in an LMS, if people are putting in raw video, it can be very, very cumbersome and take a lot of bandwidth. Here we're just streaming and embed. So very, very simple tool that I really like. And again, I like the free aspect of it too. Again, keep the questions coming if you want. The next one that I'm going to show here is, let me show you my slide here. Go to the next one, is Screencastify. Has anybody used Screencastify? I've been using this one for a long time, and especially if you're into technology like I am and you support people, it is a great way to make quick videos to show people things. So for example, at eClass for Learning, we support several organizations, many of them universities, on a help desk on some of the LMS systems that we do. And people can do a ticket or call in, and we can make them a quick video of how to do something. So screencasting is when you can create a picture of whatever is happening, or a movie, I should say, on your actual computer screen. And so Screencastify is my favorite screencasting one. It is free. You can have the speaker's picture in the corner. It is a Chrome extension, so I should say that right up front. You do need to use it in Google Chrome. And one of the nice things, it's linked, if you're a Google user, to your Google Drive. So all of your video will can go automatically into Drive without you having to upload. And because YouTube is owned by Google, and we're big Google users here at eClass for Learning, it can also be immediately linked and put into your YouTube account. So Screencastify is awesome, and I'm going to show you how that works. So let me minimize this, and I've got a tab right here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the Chrome Web Store, and you need to be in Chrome for this to work. And you put in, you can use the radio button extensions and put in Screencastify. Now, I already have it added, but if I didn't, I would get this plus add to Chrome. Because I have it, it says rate it for me. So that would be step one, is to get the extension. Now, extensions are kind of nifty things if you're new to the Google Chrome world. They actually live in your browser. And when you're logged in as you in the browser, and I should pause there, sometimes you can be logged into Google but not logged into the browser. It took me like a year to figure that out. But in your settings, you can also use your same Google login to log into the browser. That means that anywhere I go and I'm in a Chrome browser and I'm logged in as me, all of these little extensions, they're like little programs that follow me on any device that I am logged in with the Chrome browser. They come with me, and they're made and they're very customizable per person of what you want to use. And so here is the icon right here for Screencastify. So after you add it as an extension, it will show up as this little icon up here in your browser of Chrome if you are logged in. Okay, so then what you can do is when you're ready to record, and it's just right there, you didn't need to download any software, and you only need to do this once because then it's with you all the time. You click on it once and you get this, this nice little screen casting, you get a nice screen, and we'll make a screencast of our PowerPoint here. Okay, and I'll minimize it a little bit. All right. I'll just, because I still want to see it. All right, now up here you have three options: tab, desktop, or cam. Tab means that it's only going to record what is in the current tab that you have highlighted. So it would be in this one, or what I would have up on my screen like my PowerPoint. The desktop means that I would get everything. So I would get all of these other tabs, and I would get what's at the bottom tray of my computer. And there might be, if you're doing a technical video, a reason to do that. Cam turns it totally onto you and turns the webcam and would just get 100% of you talking. Okay, so those are your three views that it can record. You select your microphone. I'm going to do the tab, and then if I wanted, I've had my video turned off right now, but if I wanted to embed my webcam here, I can decide if I want a little picture of me talking while I go through, let's say, my slides or through what I'm showing on the screen. And let's see, I think I have different views, so I could have the picture in the top corner, top right corner, bottom left, bottom right, whatever works best for you. And again, recently Screencastify got a paid version, and you used to have more options onto how it would be recorded, and you can pay for that if you want. I'm still using the free version and very happy with it. It's called Screencastify Lite. Notice they always have an upgrade, and they always suggest that. And when I go to make my video, I hit Record tab, and it would, and it might, maybe I hadn't tried it with failed to start okay, it might be because we're also doing a GoToWebinar. So we'll try it one more time. It also, I should say, has annotation tools. So you can make your cursor like a big circle, you can draw, you can point to things. It's a really nice teaching tool. And I have a feeling, because we're all, oh, here it goes. Okay, so here's my video. I'm going to talk about YouTube in a little bit, and we'll be talking about YouTube Editor. And notice that there's a red button up here for the Screencastify video recorder. When I want to turn it off, I can, well, we could also look at the preview window, and I could see what's happening here, and then I hit End Recording. So it immediately shows me the video, which is incredible. There's no rendering or download time. It is just instant. And what I like too is if I don't like my video, often these are little clips and maybe I screwed up or didn't like my audio, I just trash it right here and I can re-record. If I do like it, notice right away it's going to put it in my Google Drive and it's going to give me a link in a little bit, and it's been copied. So I have the link and it will be in my drive. There's going to be a Screencastify when you install the plug or the extension in your drive. It'll create a Screencastify folder, and that's where your videos go. So it's pretty cool. But when I want to go to share, I can either say Google Drive or YouTube and then get link and upload. And it'll take a little bit. This is a pretty short one. And it'll give me my link to YouTube. So it's automatically, so now I've got a link to my drive of where it is that I could share or my YouTube. And on Drive, the video has the same sharing rights that a Google Doc would have. So you can make it private, you could share just within your organization, you can put individual emails on it. It's pretty cool that way. So you can download it, open with connect to more apps. Okay, so that is my second favorite trending tool that I use almost on a daily basis. Does anybody have any comments, thoughts, other extensions that they really like, or have used Screencastify, and any wisdom for the crowd? Okay. Then the third tool that I really love is one of my all-time favorites that I use maybe on a weekly basis would be YouTube Editor. Is anybody using that one? Okay, a lot of people do not know that YouTube, not only can you upload your video, but you can edit your video in YouTube Editor. And it's free. And one of the things I like about YouTube Editor is it has all of the major editing tools that I would want to make a professional video that are pretty simple to use. And it's free. Oh, good. I think we have some questions finally. Any ideas that would use green screen? I don't know if the audience has any, but I don't have any web-based green screen free, quick and easy tools. Usually green screening, you need something like iMovie, and you're going to need some software for that. Now, I could be incorrect in that, but when I've worked with students and teachers on green screening, that's usually what we're using, and it takes a little bit more technology to do it. If anybody in the audience has good green screening ideas, please put them in the chat. I can't say I do a lot, but I know that especially students, that's really popular for, I've seen it done a lot lately in media courses that I've been linked to and visited. But often when I'm making my content for online courses, I'm not doing a lot of green screening, I have to admit. So if somebody does, please put that in the chat, because that would be helpful. Yeah, so in YouTube Editor, I like it because I don't need to buy any expensive software. I used to be a Camtasia user, but there was a lot of upgrades and it got expensive. I can do a lot of the major things in here, and it's just so easy to use. So I might get some video, let's say from my phone or from Screencastify, and I want to edit it and I want to make it better. And so one of the hard things about YouTube Editor that maybe people don't know so much about it is that it's kind of hidden. It's not real intuitive to where you get to it. Okay, and we've got another question. I would like students to do an introductory interview. would I use Castify? They will be 2 minutes. Is it hard to give instructions? The hardest part of Screencastify is installing it as a Chrome extension. I think that, Diana, I can send you a video that our company has made on how to set up Screencastify. In fact, I could put that along with the recording for everybody, and it shows how to set it up. So the setup takes a couple minutes. You do have to go to the Chrome Web Store. You have to download it. If people haven't used extensions before, I think a video to show them how to do that the first time is really good. After that, it's really, really simple, and Screencastify would be great because it's free for everybody, and if you had the step-by-step video on how to set it up and how it works, I think that would be that could really work for you. Yeah. We have another question from Mary Solani in Kenosha. Do Ink is a fantastic app for green screen with students. I did not know that one. Mary, is that like is that on the Chrome Web Store? Is it an iPad app? Is it both? Can you give us any guidance on where we would find the app? But that would be very helpful for the question before for green screening. Cool. Very cool. See, that's what I love about these webinars. Okay, they use it as an iPad app, okay, in Kenosha, is that this community of practice gets going and everybody knows or is using something else, and you always learn a lot from each other. So, great. Okay, so back to YouTube Editor. I find that the hardest thing for people is finding the YouTube editor, and I have a little video on how to do that too. You could just Google YouTube editor, and that's what I did sometimes. The way that I do it, and there's probably a better way, but I go to my channel, and then way up here, this isn't real obvious, I go to Video Manager, and this would have all of my videos. And by the way, step one to work with the editor is you have to upload the video you want to edit to YouTube. So before we get to the editor, you might want to upload. So these are all my videos that I've uploaded that I can work with and that I can edit. And so step one is upload. But then when I'm here, when I'm in my Video Manager, now this creation studio shows up where it doesn't on the main screen. So I always found this a little confusing to find. Like I said, you can also just Google YouTube Editor and it'll take you there too. When you first come in, it brings you to the music, which can be a little confusing too. You have to go to the Video Editor under Create. Now we get to this very cool video editor that's free. And what it does is it takes all the videos that I've previously uploaded to YouTube that I can choose from, and I can search my videos, and I can drop these in. So if I'm doing 2 or 3 clips, that is really, really nice. I can go back to the editor here. And, you know, it works like most standard video editors. I can make it bigger or smaller as I'm working on it down here. One thing I would mention is when you upload a video, it isn't, I've noticed, always immediately available. So you might want to upload your video, I'd say maybe 20 minutes before. And then it will show up, but sometimes I've uploaded it and I wasn't able to find it, and I was kind of real frantic wondering where it was, and then about 20 minutes later it would pop up sometimes, especially longer ones. So just FYI, you might need to upload ahead of time before it becomes available for editing. Okay, then it looks like I've got to upload my Flash, but up here Another thing that I like is you can add photos to this project. So we'll go to one and we'll select this. And then you can drop these photos in, and then we can have, you know, voiceovers or whatever in here. They also have some photo editing tools. Okay, so we could do that. Pan and zoom if you wanted to make it that Ken Burns effect. If we go back here, the other thing that I really love is the copyright-free music that you don't have to worry about having rights to, and there is quite a bit. You can search by genre. You know, there's just a lot of music to choose from. I spend a lot of time listening to them, and it's pretty good. Most of it's instrumental, and you can just put that in. And did that not work for me? All right, might be because I need to up on this computer I'm demoing today. I need my flash, but in a perfect world that would have dragged right in here. And then you can preview, except I had to upgrade unfortunately today. You can add your transitions just like you would in any video editor, and they have quite a few. You can add your titles. What's this one? That one I have not used. Okay, and so it also has the ability to split clips and then cut out parts, and so I use that quite a bit too. Oh, okay, and then can I embed videos in my web page but enforce that they show it with no ads? Yes, yes. In fact, I can show you right now how that's done. In fact, we'll do that. I'll do it in an LMS, okay? So then you would just create your video, and it's going to ask you, like when you upload a video, it'll ask you to name it and things like that. Okay, and this is a very long clip. Okay, so that YouTube editor has been huge for me to take some video clips and quickly edit it and make it more professional. Now, let's say I want to embed a video. That's a very good question. Thank you. And this, I think, is what I recommend for online learning, that you embed and that you upload to something like YouTube or Vimeo or EduVision. And a lot of you on the call probably have heard me say this before, but the reason I say embed is if you upload raw video to a website or a learning management system, what will typically happen is when the learner clicks on the link, they will be forced to download that whole video, and they'll have to wait for the download. And our kids are so digital today, students are, that they want it immediately, just like a YouTube experience. And they may not have the right player, and it may not play on their device. And when you upload to something like YouTube, Vimeo, EduVision, they have transcoders in it, and it's a little bit like a PDF for a Word doc. It makes it universal, so it'll work on any device, which is another reason that I really like it. So then if you click on your video on the share, and then there is an embed, and Adobe Spark has embed too, so I'm a big fan of the embed. Now we get this code that we can use, and this could be on Weebly. I was embedding some video. Wix, I was embedding some video this week. I'm going to just do it into my Moodle course because I can get to that quickly. And I'll go here, and I'll just go to my practice course, and we'll embed it quick. So here's my practice course where I practice things. It's pretty ugly. Okay, so you turn your editing on, which would be very similar in Weebly or Wix or any website that you're doing. And way down here, add an activity or resource. And in this case, I'm going to just add it as a label, but you could do it on a page. Well, we'll do a page, seeing that this is how it would work on a web page. And we'll put practice video. And then from here, we go to page content. And usually on Weebly or Wix, it's called a widget, or a wiki would be called a widget. Here, or it may look like this with the two. This means put in the source code, which is really what an embed code is. And I'm going to paste that in and click update. And here it comes, which I think is, even now, even though I've done it 1,000 times, I always get excited. Like, here's my video. All right. So you can tell I practice a lot of meaningless practice things that I was doing. Oh, and it was a page that we made, right? I should have kept better track of where my page is. All right, where I have so much here. Practice video. Thank you for your patience with me. Okay, so it's going to open up as a new page. All right, so there it is. And you notice that was a really good question. One of the reasons I like Embed, you know, we could have linked to it, but then we would have been on YouTube with all of the ads and all of the other suggested videos, and that can be very distracting to a learner. Now the learner feels like they have not left the site at all. They can play it, and voila. And there it is. So the whole player comes, they have the whole YouTube experience, but it looks like it's part of the course. In reality, it's being hosted at YouTube, and we're streaming it in here, but the user experiences it's all in one place, and then they can go on to the content that goes with it. So that was a very good question. Are there any other questions or suggestions that people have, or tools that they have used? Like I said, for such a diverse audience, I picked my 3 favorite. Could probably come up with 20, but I felt like that might overwhelm people. And I feel like these 3 could really be useful either for students turning in projects or for instructors creating online content. They're free and they're relatively simple to use, I feel. Okay. The last thing, if you're thinking of questions, please add them, or if you think of them later and you want to email them to me, I would just maybe direct you to a couple webinars we have coming up on our website, so at eclassforlearning.com. We have one on instructional design techniques to help all learners succeed. I think that's a really important topic. And how can we make both our courses look better, and also how can we make sure that we have universal design principles built in to help everybody have a good online learning experience. So that's one coming up on June 8th. And if you are a Tatara user, that's one of our more corporate LMSs. On June 1st, we're going to talk about, usually every month I do a couple areas of that one because it's so large. We're going to talk about sequential learning and how you would create a program of, maybe you have a manager program or a new orientation program, and it has several courses or several things or webinars people need to attend or face-to-face. How do we track that? And maybe it's a certification, maybe it renews at certain things. So maybe there are prerequisites. How do we set those things up in the Totara program? So that's what we're going to be talking about on June 1st. We always welcome suggestions for webinars. That's where some of the very best ones come from. So I really welcome those too. And I thank you for taking time out of your day, and for those of you that ask questions, thank you very much. I think other people probably had the same question, and that makes it a lot more fun. Like I said, I'll be sending out the link to the webinar. I hope that you found these tools useful. If you are using tools that you're having really good success with, like Mary is with the one for green screening, please let us know, and we can share those out to the group. So yeah, and thanks very much, and I hope I see you on another eClass for Learning webinar soon. Bye-bye.